Mic check 1 2 1 2. You don't have to adjust the screen. You are seen correctly. It is I, the film fiend, the one and only. Welcome to the new and improved film wrap up. And I'm with my boy, and you know who he is by now.
It's the rap nerd. What's good, film?
Not much, man. Not much. Yo. I'm just enjoying this. I feel like this is a little bit of freedom, in my opinion.
Rap nerd. What's good, film? Sure, for sure.
I had us playing in the background.
I just heard myself. What's that about?
Little technical difficulty. Now we loud. Now we better. All right.
I'm gonna let y'all know too. I'm throwing film under the bus. He's the technical person. So if this goes wrong,
it's all on me.
It's on him.
Shit, we already had like what 2-3 missteps already, bro. So
yeah, we did.
Yeah, but anyways, though, this is a special video. It's the Batman. Me and him, I could say, are one of the biggest Batman films to fans to date, and it's no other movie than this to go live for. It's both our number one films of the year, and I thought we would switch it up, do it a little different because I'm seeing everybody with their spoiler reviews, non-spoiler reviews, but not really people are combining the fact that there is an original, first Batman film out of a trilogy, and that's Batman Begins. So we thought there's no other way than to acknowledge that, and just by slightly discussing that as well, and impact it has, if any, and we'll also come for the big show, which is the Batman as well. So with that being said, let's just get straight to it, man. Batman Begins. What's your quick overview on it? How you thought about it? No need for a review. Film came out in like 05. I know. I'm pretty sure people know the film by now. So what's your overviews about it?
Batman Begins to me is like the perfect introduction film to Batman. Like if somebody were to come up to you who doesn't know anything about Batman, doesn't know the comic books, doesn't know the show, doesn't know the video game, none of that, you just tell them, just watch Batman Begins, and that'll put you in the right direction from there, that you can go anywhere within the Batman hemisphere. I think it does a great job of introducing Bruce, introducing his past, introducing what got him to the role of Batman. It introduces how he even learned his skills, because I remember when people watched Batman Begins, they didn't even know Bruce like trained with ninjas. They didn't know that. They were just like, oh, who was that? I didn't know he did that. They just know he trained. So that adds an extra layer onto, Batman and why he's able to do the things that he does. And again, it's the best start to Batman that somebody can have. I do think it's pretty underrated. I don't see a lot of people talk about it, and why that is, we'll get into later, because I kind of have my thoughts process about why that is. But yes, it's pretty much, it's almost flawless, I would say. I can't really. I have my issues with it. There's a few things that we'll get into talking about it, but it's damn near flawless, man. Like, it depicts Gotham really, really well. The rogue gallery they do show, it just gets a lot right, man. You know what I mean? So it's a great movie. What about you?
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing as you said, but the biggest factor to me about Batman Begins is that it pretty much saved the reputation of Batman. Because prior to this, you had Batman Forever. As much as Darian loves that film, you have Batman and Robin. Like, these last two films did more to destroy the image of Batman than Adam West did. Because at least Adam West, it was going for camp, bro. Like I felt like they really tried and they failed, but Batman Begins came around and put some respect on the character Batman, bro, and it's the truest to the name Batman as far as any of the films in the trilogy is, and it took a really different, darker approach at Bruce Wayne to the point which you could kind of mimic in the other film, where he doesn't really care about being Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. Like, he's damaged goods after the death of his family, and they really took their time to lay it out and let you see like how that really affected him. And I really love that approach. Christopher Nolan, my favorite director, just knocked it out the park. So that's how that's my quick overview on that film. There's no need for a review.
Yeah, So like I said earlier, and you even agreed to this. We talked about this, off camera. But the impact on Batman Begins, right?
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that? Because, like I said, I feel like it's not regarded that much. I mean, you have a few people, and of course, when I say a few people, don't take it as me being literal, but majority of people jump straight to the Dark Knight as far as the impact instead of the Batman
Mhm.
Begins. Why do you think that is? If you could think of anything.
Um, the main thing is, first of all, I don't think Batman Begins had much of an impact, and it's not due to quality wise. It's simply because the predecessor, the or not the predecessor, whatever, the follow up, The Dark Knight was just that big that it overshadowed Batman Begins. You had everything they did minus a proper Batman character. They toppled with the Dark Knight. You had a better villain. You had a better, more compelling story. You
Mm,
had a better arc for the love interest. Like everything was better. It was a grander scale. You can tell the budget was bigger. Like the score was just like everything about this was beautiful. Like, and I felt like it was left in the shadows. And we only speak about Dark Knight Rises because it's the last of the films. And you got to talk about the finale. But yeah, I feel like it's just been overshadowed, and it's weird to me. I'm not 100% sure why, because it's a great film. Batman Begins is an absolute great film, for every sense of the word, but it's just been overlooked because you don't see any modern day films or even films in that area take anything from Batman Begins. Like the films that came out around that time is they're their own thing, but yeah, it didn't have much of an impact in my opinion. What about you?
no, I agree. I think it didn't have an impact, and it has nothing to do with the quality.
Hmm.
Because the quality, like I said, it's a fantastic movie, damn near flawless. Um, and I can even admit, being a Batman fan at the time, '05,
Hmm.
it kind of just slipped by my radar. Man, I knew it came out, but I don't know, for some reason I wasn't really that enthused to see it at the time. And I think I don't know. I think probably because I'm thinking about 2005, right? And the comic book movies that were out during that time.
Hmm.
Raimi's Spider Verse was still going. The X-Men movies
Yep.
were strongly going. You had the Punisher one. You had the Punisher two. You had
Hmm.
Hellboy. Like, it was like a whole,
Sin City, all of
yeah.
them.
It was a whole bunch of stuff. So what it probably could be is maybe his grounded approach was so grounded that it kind of slid under the radar for what was going on at the time. Um,
Mm.
like I said, when you think about all of those movies, they're all, because during this period, it's funny. Tone wasn't really a big thing for these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
the formulaic tone for a comic book movie was, it does take itself seriously, but it still has like a little fantastical nature to it. So I think maybe
Right.
with Batman Begins not being, or not presented as being so fantastical, it kind of slid
Hmm.
on the radar as being like, oh, this is, this isn't the rest of this stuff. And that's really the only thing that I can think of, because I mean, it was a wild era in them 2000s, man, when it comes to comic book movies, man. Like, I mean, like I
Word.
say, all of those films. You had Ghost Rider out. You had
Oh yeah, that was around that time.
both Ghost Riders, all kind of wild stuff. So like, that's the only thing that I could possibly think about. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, so I could definitely see that. And yeah, the biggest thing for me, like us comic book heads, we read this stuff, and I personally started in comic before it was movies, and it's like the closest adaptation to me to one of the greatest Batman stories of all
Oh,
time. And
here he go.
yeah, I
Here,
had to
here
whip
he
out the
go.
so shiny and clean. Ooh. Yeah, Batman Year One, man, like one of the greatest Batman stories to date. Like everybody wants to talk about the Dark Knight, Hush, Long Halloween. Year One is where it's at, man. Year One, and
See. Hold up. You see, you wanted to do this video shit to flex your muscles. Like, you think you slick. Like,
you know,
I see all of those Funkos you got back there.
just a little something. The family will be growing soon, so you're gonna see a lot more of me, quote unquote, flexing. And I want to address something because I stayed quiet during the casting and the trailers and stuff. I heard how Catwoman is, not supposed to be black, and it's not true to the comics. But it's
Hold on. Before you do that,
oddly.
expand your screen so they can see this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me oop, that's not me. Yeah, so I was told Catwoman's white, and she's not black, and quote unquote. But oddly, year one, call me crazy, but it looks like a black woman to me. Am I delusional? am I delusional? That she resembles Zoe a lot. So I remember you saying like you saw Zoe as your prototypical Catwoman when she got casted, and without a doubt. And I'm going to the Batman, but I just thought I'll bring that up real quick.
Put the flex muscle out.
It's a little something. But on to more of Batman Begins. What would you consider a standout of the film? Like either character wise or just some aspect in the film period.
The standout for me, Gotham, the way it was portrayed in this one was a really big standout. Because again, like you said before, Batman Begins, we had Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, and even the Tim Burton movies. Like those set of movies were all pretty over the top in nature.
Right.
So this version of Gotham still felt dramatic, but it had a grounded nature about it. That's like you could feel the danger, you could feel the griminess. You like the color palette that he chose, the rainy night, so on that, it just you got a real sense of Gotham. I think that stuck out a whole lot, man. So I'll say that's the first one, and I can honestly say I think Batman / Bruce Wayne stuck out the most in this movie too. So much so that I feel like out of the trilogy, this is the one that he actually is the star of the show. When it comes to all three of the movies, and they did a good job of you getting to know Bruce a lot, getting to know how he moves, getting to know what he's into, how he talks. They present the playboy nature of him, and even with Batman, the way they even present him, like the first time you see him, is like some shit of a horror movie. You know what I mean? Like he flying around, wrapping people up, and So for me, it's Gotham and Batman. Like I was like, okay, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, see, they're getting it. They're getting it. So like, yeah, that's what it is for me. What about you?
To me, it's the relationships that Batman builds, like this true to comic relationships. And what I mean by that, the dynamics between him and Alfred, which previously I don't think was really stamped as much as this is, and also Commissioner Gordon. And it's like breadcrumbs until what you later see throughout the franchise. The chemistry and the dynamic between him and Alfred is, to me, besides the obvious Jokers and like that, those are the standout moments. Impactful, dynamic dialogue between these casts, the rapport between him and Gordon, like it's refreshing to see, coming from where we were at previously with these other two films that I will not be mentioning probably for the rest of the podcast. But yeah, so that to me is the biggest standout, I would say, because I'm a sucker. I especially back then, not knowing it, because I wouldn't consider me like deep into films back then. We spoke about it back. It was more about sports, but something always gravitated towards, like, I would be glued to the screen, and it's not even action. It's just him, and most of the time it was him and Alfred just having this father and son deep Shakespearean conversation, bro, about his father, him like becoming Bruce Wayne, him not giving a, it's wonderful in my opinion. That to me is the standout as far as and it's also it's what leads into the later films as well. So yeah.
So relationships is what you got.
The relationships.
No, you're right though. It's funny because I think it's the attributes of everything that stand out for this movie than it is like one particular person because it's the first
Exactly.
time we've seen this material taken as seriously as it's been taken.
Yes.
You know, so that
Yes.
that on itself was just kind of like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing it like the comics. They're doing it like
100%.
the comics. So yeah, that was a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking about standouts, do you think the film still holds up?
Oh
And
hell yes. Go on. I'm sorry. I was
no,
just
no, 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 no. Go ahead, go ahead.
no. Yeah, 100% holds up because I recently watched it. I believe a week before the Batman came out, and I was glued onto it almost to the point like it almost felt like I haven't watched it. I'm like, oh, I forgot this happened. I forgot that happened. And mind you, me and you, we might not watch the same films all the time. But we watch every single comic book film that comes out in the genre,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these films this day are still not doing it as good as Begins did. It was gripping, um, and surprisingly, I got the fighting. I don't even know how to say that because the fighting, in my opinion, was better in here than it was in any of the other ones in the
No, it was.
series.
It was.
Because the only gripe I would say is you could see Nolan was new to the game because he was doing the jump cuts. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
see like when the punch would land or stuff like that, but you could see the speed, the velocity. It was a lot faster, a lot more fluid, a lot more raw than you'd see in the latter movies. But yeah, so definitely hold up. Like you can't sit here and tell me Batman Begins is not, a better film than let's say Ant-Man. If you're watching Agent, that's the first movie that came to mind, bro. I'm sorry. Well, I'm just saying, like Batman. If, if Batman Begins was to release, like in 2022, it'll be held as one of the best comic book movies out, in my opinion. Like exactly how it is, no touch, no edits, no nothing. So yeah, in my opinion, it does hold up. What about you?
Oh man, I'm with you 100%. You're damn right. Like I think it's
Mhm.
it's still one of the best comic book movies ever. Like it's in my top like 15 or 20. Like that's how
Yep,
much I still enjoy it because
hundred
it
percent.
just it gets the tone, it gets the mood, it gets the aesthetic, it gets the emotional beats, it gets the performances. Everything is checked off. Like I said, you can make a gripe, but one of my gripes is again is about the fighting, how the way it's edited is not the best. And because that's really the complaint is like it's not edited well and they just unfortunately they chose a style of fighting that's not that flashy and not that cool looking, so that kind of adds to why the fighting isn't helmed at a higher place. But other than that though, I'm like, I mean, that shit's better than almost everything still. Like
I agree.
so yeah, it still definitely holds up as is, and it's crazy. It came out how long ago? Was it '05?
17 years ago.
And I can tell you this,
Wow, I feel old.
I can tell you this, that it's better than some movies that came out last year.
Facts. And it's probably gonna be better than this year too. Morbius, I'm talking to you, but yeah,
See, man,
I'm just saying. As far as the fighting goes, I think because I was watching the behind the scene features and the Blu-ray. I think the fighting would is perfect for that Batman. It's just the choreography. Because if you watch it, he shows you how he slows it down. Why? I guess that's how the whoever they hired for the Batman decided to do it. It's not supposed to be as slow. It's supposed to be a lot rawer and faster. And if you see it going full motion when the people that invented are really doing it, it really holds up perfectly. And I felt like we could have got something special if I don't know what they were thinking. Like it really shows back then Nolan's lack of action, having the
yeah.
action eye and stuff like that. So
Because to your point, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mission Impossible 3,
mhm.
I believe, Tom Cruise was using the same kind of fighting technique.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that.
like, which one? It's the one where they're going after the rabbit's foot. You remember that? You remember that one?
Yeah, I think that is three.
And
I
like
want to say that's three.
they put some type of neuro bomb in Tom Cruise's head.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you watch him fight, he uses that style. Like there's a
I
part
gotta
when
watch that.
he has his hands on his head and he's like
Yup, that's
swinging like that,
exactly how. Yes,
and it's like
yes.
and it goes to show, like I said, Nolan doesn't know fighting like that. But when Tom Cruise did it, look cool as fuck. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I think it's just all about him not really knowing what he's doing as far as editing of fighting scenes.
I agree. I agree, and I also got watching it because I'm bringing this up because we're about to shift into the star of the show. I want to see Nolan direct a horror movie
Oh, I do
because
too.
some of these shots that he took with Batman, I'm like, oh, this is straight off of a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tension, the angles, the lighting, everything screamed horror. Especially, is primarily related with Scarecrow, and so even to the point when he gives Scarecrow the toxin and you see him in this black big bat looking thing. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's some
this
wild
is
stuff.
yeah, bro, this is nightmare inducing. I'm like, I really respected how edgy of a film that was. So yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say. But translating to the last topic as far as Batman goes, what parallels would you say Batman Begins has in comparison with the Batman? Because they're both the first of a hopefully a trilogy, which Reeves said that's the goal, and the first the first look at the Batman and stuff like that. Any parallels between these two you think they share?
Um, the parallels. I think for one, they both play out more. They both really grasp onto the horror elements in
Mm,
both movies.
mm,
Um, I think they both do a good job at characterizing Gotham.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think they both do a good job of making Batman pretty scary.
Yeah.
Uh, and I do think that they both do a great job too of presenting the mafia aspect of Gotham too.
All right.
Having I forgot the actor's name. I always call him Junetail, but that's not his name. Which is how he was talking like, don't come down here with your anger. You always fear what you don't know. Like he got that like that mafia like talk down pat, and that's one huge thing I love about the Batman is how like mafioso, everyone is
Yes.
talking like, and it's not just
Yes.
one character. I mean, even the side characters. Like I watched it today, and when Catwoman goes into the club and she has the retinal scanner
Mm-hmm.
and she follows the girl. She's like, where's Anka? And even the girl's like, keep your voice down. You don't want to get caught out here. And I was just like, oh shit, they're really
That's
like,
animated Batman right there to the T,
yeah,
bro.
exactly. Like,
Wow.
and I just love that aspect about both of them. I think those are the parallels. Of course, the grounded nature, is kind of there. I still think the Batman is grounded, but I think it's not as grounded. But they still keep it within limits or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I have to say those are the main parallels that I can see.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
For me, the biggest thing to me is how broken these Bruce Wayne characters are, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think the Batman obviously went in a way harder, darker approach as far as Batman is. But if you put that with earlier Bruce Wayne in the beginning, before he's really, really like Bruce Wayne and Batman at the end, that's almost the same character, man. Like they both, I think, in the Batman, he says he doesn't care about the Bruce Wayne moniker, and also in Begins, he says the exact same thing. And yeah, I always like the approach of a tormented soul for my dark characters. Not every character has to be that. I don't expect Flash to go through that, or Booster Gold or anything like that. But Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's tailor made for that. And I heard people say this film is not happy. It doesn't. Batman is not smiling, but your family murdered at a young age. You're an orphan. You're like, what's there to smile about? I
and
definitely understand
also
that.
they really need to shut the fuck up too. Like I'm
I
sorry,
second
like
that.
It's Batman, dog. Like, what
I
are you
second
talking
that.
about?
Yep.
What are you talking about? Like, I'm
Yep.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had to say
No,
that.
no,
See that
no.
stupid
Yo,
shit. I'm
I
just
couldn't say
like,
it better myself.
bro, what movie have we seen where Batman's just like,
Adam West.
hey, I'm Batman.
Batman and Robin. Batman Forever.
But neither one of them smiled though.
Clooney didn't smile.
No.
No, I wouldn't smile either if I was in that film.
Okay, get back to your point, man. Every time. I'm not lingering up for you to dunk on.
But I really I did enjoy also what you said, like Gotham, man. Like Gotham is a character in itself. Like, if you really truly understand Gotham, and I felt like everything about Gotham felt like a live breathing character in both films. I think the Batman definitely took it like a heavier approach to that than Begins did, but Begins is the predecessors and stuff like that. So I definitely see some, like, Reeves got some inspirations from Begins. So yeah, those are the real parallels that I'll say between those two films.
Okay.
And yep, that's pretty much it.
Now, enough.
Been waiting for this.
Begin stuff. Let's get into this new. What are your spoiler thoughts like about just go off?
This film is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. It's rare that I have a film that's number one on my list for the year, and then not just only matches it, it fucking exceeds it, bro. Like, exceeds it. Like, I couldn't even fathom what I watched after watching it the first time. Like, all jokes aside, dead ass, I'm watching it. I forgot what scene it is, and my leg is shaking. What'd you say?
Switch the camera up so they can see you.
Yep, forgot about that. Yeah, thank you for that. See, technical difficulty. It's it's a first go round, but that was a particular scene. I can't remember exactly which one. This is the first go round, but I'm shaking throughout the scene, and I look down, my legs are shaking uncontrollably. I'm like, what is going on? Like, the intensity. I felt like Matt Reeves really understood this character and what Batman meant to him. Because a lot of these times, a lot of directors are like, they're not real Batman fans, so they read a comic and they're like, oh, that would be cool on screen. That would be cool on screen. I feel like Reeves knew who Batman is and how he should be, how he should walk. Because I'm sure, like, how the approach they took to Batman, like, this is a breakdown of the Batman character to the fullest. From the opening monologue when he's talking, how he is, until all the way at the end, it's complete 180. And I enjoyed it thoroughly, man. This film is magnificent. Like, the approach they at the beginning, like how Batman just walks, like, he doesn't say a word, he slowly turns, intimidating. Like, I see that, I'm done. I'm a nun. Like, I'll never commit crime again in my life. Like, I love that approach. And also, like, this is what a assembled cast should be. So many times we see a bunch of great actors in a film, but not great performances. I could easily say every last one of these actors did their damn thing, to the point, like, besides Batman, obviously, I don't know who was my favorite character after that. Catwoman killed it. Penguin, Falcone, Alfred, Gordon, Riddler, like the list goes on. And like it's not a, oh, they did good. They did phenomenal, bro. Absolutely phenomenal. The story was fucking gripping. A real detective Batman, bro. Like I really don't like before this film came out, I really don't think people understood what that really meant and how important that aspect is to Batman as a character, bro. Like just seeing how this film plays out shows that. That's why you're seeing. I see so many people be saying, "All right, this is my Batman." Like it's for a reason. Like you're getting all these Batman elements and stuff like that. I think Matt Reeves did a phenomenal job, man. Everything about this is just like, in even little complaints I have was not like, they're like nitpicks and stuff like that, little stuff that don't really matter. And the biggest like complaint I have was done on purpose. You could clearly see, oh, he's gonna correct himself on second and third. Like all this is for a reasoning. I love how like attention to detailed this film was, like from every like 2 hours, and this is what 2 hours and 55 minutes, or 2 hour without
Yeah.
credits is like 2:47. Every second on screen was purposeful. Every single minute, nothing was wasted, bro. And I blown away, bro. Absolutely blown away. The fact that he broke down this character that we love, like we're known. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna go off a little while because I didn't get to really talk spoilers
Nah,
as like I
go,
wanted to.
go.
But like Batman in the comics is this all perfect being. Like he makes no mistakes. My man took down Darkseid, dog. Darkseid. That's all I gotta say. Like it don't get any more perfect than that. But seeing how
Mhm.
Matt Reeves was like, nah, he's a human being just dressed up in some protective gear. If he gets lit up, it's gonna hurt. So seeing Batman on the floor catching punches, afraid to jump off a building like any other Batman's, he jumping head first, diving, somersaulting off that shit without a second thought. My man had to think about it. He's like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like I, I love the vulnerability in Batman. It's not something that's associated with that character very often. And yeah, I was extremely thrilled with that aspect, man. I really, 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 really loved it, man. So yeah, that's my spoiler, I guess, take of it. What about you, man?
Ooh, wee boy, you had a tongue full there.
I got more. I got more, bro. God damn, I love this film.
No. I'm in agreement with you, man. Like I said, I loved it the first time I saw it, and
Mm,
rewatching it today, I was just literally just here, just like they actually got this thing right. Like it's incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man. For one, for me personally, it's the cinematography. Like the cinematography is just brilliant to say the least, man. Like
gorgeous.
just all the Matt Reeves details in here, like the way he plays with the depth of field, like
Mm,
at the very beginning, in the horror vibes. Oh my god, I mean, at the beginning
hmm
when uh, the mayor walks by, the light flicks on, and you see Riddler just standing there. It's like holy shit. And then just like again, the cinematography comes in play. He hits him over the head with that carpenter with the tool, and then the frame is just blurry, but you can see him just, but it's
Oh,
blurry purposely, and then the tool just comes falling into frame, and you see it there. You see the blood on the tool, and then you see him get up, and you see him walk towards it, and he's still blurry, like little shit like that, man. It's just like I love stuff like that, and I think it's so perfect for a character like Batman. Um, yeah, I just the cinematography is brilliant. Like you said, the story is amazing. I agree with everything you're saying about like Batman being imperfect, him, not always knowing the right thing to do. Like I love that, like you said, he didn't even when he went to the top of the building, he stopped for a moment, like, oh shit, okay, is this gonna work? And I think the imperfection is not only in Batman, it's in all the other characters too. You see an imperfected world. You see just it feels so real, but it's got the fantastical aspects of it, and that's what I love most. It doesn't stray away from that. Like, I just love when Batman shows up and people are kind of just looking at him, kind of like this nigga weird as hell. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you don't have to take a dude dressed in a bat suit. Like, it's just like, is he for real?
Right.
I love the dialogue. I I'm I just love everything, man. I'm not trying to. I know we were gonna go through, so I don't want to just jump the gun, but everything you said is exactly how I feel, and I just adore this film, dog. Like, oh, so damn beautiful. So, since we gave our thoughts, tell me what's your favorite scene from the film?
Whoo, my favorite scene, bro. It took me a second time to realize this was my favorite scene. I know a lot of people love the ending, carrying the girl and stuff like that. Chef's kiss, magnificent. Love it. But to me, oh my god, everything, every aspect in this film worked in that shot worked perfectly. Penguin. Let me play it out for you. It's when he was like, okay, I'm gonna have a talk with Penguin when they thought he was a snitch and stuff, right? And they're stalking out the area, and then Catwoman comes in, steals a bag of money, and then Batman pops up behind him and says whatever he has to say. And then it starts from right here. She unzips the bag thinking it's more money, but it's her girl and they're dead. And then the score starts slowly swelling up, and then boom, gunshots out of nowhere. And then the intensity from the score, and then the affliction from Penguin's voice, the anger. What he said, you think you're gonna steal from me, Mr. Vengeance, or whatever he says?
Hey, Vengeance! You think you
Yo,
can steal from me?
oh my God, shot after shot. Du-du-du-du-du. And then it cuts into Batman laid out on the floor from machine gun shots. Out my brain couldn't process that. It's almost like Into the Spider-Verse when you see a Peter Parker dead from spoiler alert if you didn't see Into the Spider-Verse, but it's 4 years old. But it's like you're not used to seeing a vulnerable Batman like laid up like that. And then he continues closer, and then the swell of the score, and then Colin Farrell's acting in that scene. He shoots out the window, and then you see the fear on Catwoman hiding behind the car, Gordon running up, and then boom, the car lights hit up, and then you see him in his muscle car. Oh my God, that scene was just. I think that was probably the scene that had my legs shaking, bro. Like the intensity was so like he did everything perfectly from the camera angles, lighting, the score, the way that he'll show the fear from each character's face, and then you see Batman in danger, like this is right after seeing somebody's body in the trunk, and then how the car starts up, vroom, and you see everybody look at it like, oh shit, like what the fuck. Like it didn't even feel like a vehicle. It felt like a beast coming out of the shadows, bro, just roaring at you. I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And that fake start just to get him started, bro. And yeah, that's my scene right there, believe it or not. What about you, man? What was your standout scenes in your opinion?
You just messed me up now, dog. Shoot.
What you mean?
You just brought me back into the movie. Like I'm just sitting I'm sitting here watching that in my head as you saying it. Damn.
Oh my God, that scene is epic, bro. Oh my Lord.
I'm telling you, and it's crazy because like I said, I just saw it again today. Yes. And I'm just like I'm and then just to add on to that scene, there's like when the car starts going off and you see the car, like the first time you see the car like moving, you hear that dun, dun, dun,
yes.
Dun. Then he just
oh my God.
Oh God, favorite scene, man. Man. It's like
so many.
Cause I might have to cheat and do two.
Go for it.
First scene when Batman gets, he figures out that Anka, that's Catwoman's girl that she's looking out for, was at the Iceberg Club, and was he talking to Alfred or I forgot who he was talking to, but they were like, that's the Iceberg Club where Penguin is at.
Yo, shout out to Darren real quick. He goes, "Y'all would be doing this while I'm at work." Yo,
hey man, you can watch it when you get off.
Yo, for real, you work like what, 72 hours a day? This man always at work, man.
He is though. He do. But shout out my dude Darren. But
word.
When he goes to the Iceberg Club, knocks on the door as Batman, which is something I was not expecting. Like
gangster. Oh my god.
Like and then the way Reeves sets the shot, it's like you see a still, like you see like the whole club is Iceberg Lounge, and then Batman just walks in the frame, and I'm like, I'm thinking like, oh, he must about to sneak in, tiptoe in and make his way up. He goes straight to the front door. Twins open it, and he says, "You know who I am," and they're just looking like, "You better back up unless you want blood on that suit." And then Batman's like, crazy. "Oh, mine are yours." Literally knocks both these fools out and makes his way into the club, just beating the shit out of everybody. Like his combos during that scene are fierce.
Yes, they are.
Bro, the first dude, when he walks up the steps, he punches the first dude, takes the other dude, slams him into like puts his body in front of the dude he just punched, and then Sparta kicks them both down the stairs. Like, what? Beats the other man up, throws him over the rail, then he hops the rail. Hops the rail and continues his onslaught. Hits a dude with a bat. Like that's a funny little pun. Batman wielding a bat. I thought that was cool. But
I didn't even think of that. Wow.
Yeah, like the bat is holding a bat, like, and hits the dude. Somebody comes out, what's his name? Kinsey comes out with a shotgun or whatever gun he has, like freeze arm, I'll blow your head off. Throws the bat at my man, pulls his grappling gun out, shoots it at one of the twins' leg, pulls him and hits the other twin. Like,
insane.
Fire.
Insane.
And then here comes Penguin with that accent. Hold on, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, and presses him for information. So I love that club scene. But the other scene I love is when Coulson has the bomb strapped to his neck, and he's talking to Riddler on the phone, and Riddler is just insane, man. Like, like just going off with those riddles, like his voice is just so creepy, and he's so diabolical with the way he talks. And what takes it to a different level is when the Riddler's octave changes for his voice. Like when he starts yelling, and like when he starts speaking loud and shouting, it just gives a sense of unease. And again, the score keeps building and building. Batman answering the riddles rapid fire. It's like at that point, it's crazy because it's like the Riddler and Batman are interrogating him, which is crazy.
True.
And it just speaks to the Riddler's point about like thinking that we're doing this together. You know what I'm saying? Like the Riddler's telling the riddle for Batman to translate it to him to get the information out of him. And it's just like, and we know ultimately what happens. He gets his head blown off, but it's just fantastic scene, dog. Fantastic scene, man.
I mean, like if you're gonna cheat and another one gets out there, or another one out as well, because there's so many to pick from in this scene. But I just told you earlier how one of the standouts from Batman Begins for me is the relationships, especially between him and Alfred. The hospital
Mhm.
scene, bro.
I know we.
Oh my god, epic! And it's not just a certain section from beginning to end. Like when Alfred first awakens and he turns and he sees Bruce, he has that smile in his face because he's like, oh, okay, he's here to check up on me, and then he goes, "You lied to me all these
Mm.
years" or something like that, and you see his smile fades. That whole conversation, bro. Oh my god, ate me up. Like it felt because prior to this, it would have been a negative if I didn't see this scene or see how their relationships, evolves throughout. I wasn't really feeling the dynamic between them two. I'm like, ooh, this doesn't feel like the Alfred and Batman and Bruce that I'm traditionally known for. But that scene alone, like, I'm like, okay, this right here, okay, this is why he was doing this. It's a perfect
Yeah.
setup for this. Like
Hmm.
this character arc is insane. But yeah, man, it just I loved it, and that it's a nice little story because there's so many different things of how Bruce Wayne's parents died and stuff like that. It's a new wrinkle they just threw into that, and I thought it was perfectly added. But the real standout to me in that scene is when that Bruce says, "I don't really care or fear dying, but I couldn't take the fear of losing somebody else close to me." I was like, God damn it, where the tissues at? Where
Bro,
is the tissues, bro?
I had watery eyes, dog.
Oh my
Like
god, you
you
gonna
know,
make
you
a
know, you
thug
should have hold
cry?
him. You know, you should have hold him back. You'd be like,
I gotta bite my bottom of that big ass lip I got. I was like,
or
God
or or,
damn.
or better yet, the one where you look up to the sky to try to make him roll back in. You'd be like,
I couldn't even say anything was in my eye because we're inside the audience and stuff like that, bro. And then Alfred put out his hand, and then I was like,
oh
God
my god,
damn, they got me, bro. That
bro,
scene
I
is
ain't never got that
just.
emotional for a Batman movie, dog. Honestly,
I'm
I've
trying to
never
think.
been. I know me personally, I've never been
Mhm.
hit in the emotional department like I was with this movie. That scene being one of them.
That scene was epic. Nah.
Like
But Dark Knight Rises, that conversation Alfred and him have in that stairway when he pretty much quit because he tells Batman he's about to kill himself. That performance by Michael Caine, god damn, I felt that one. And rewatching
oh
it, I
yeah,
felt
yeah.
it all over again, bro. That's one of my favorite scenes, period. But yeah, this scene has one of those scenes, so definitely, man, definitely. And
Mm.
this is the time in the film where, because I just said disassemble is just cast is just amazing. Every
Yeah,
single person does a phenomenal job. I think we should
yeah.
just go back and forth of characters that we just a breakdown of the characters and what we think about it. And the first one I'm gonna throw at you. I'm gonna throw you a little light pitch, but Falcone. Yes. Yep.
I mean, had the accent down. I loved his reserved menace.
Hmm.
You know, he never was loud, but every time he would speak to somebody, he controlled the conversation.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He controlled the situation. He was always in charge. I just like he just carried himself like a mob boss. Like it was ridiculous. I love the first time we see him from the iceberg lounge, behind Penguin, and you just see him just standing there, and he just has this presence about him. And
Hmm.
then fast forward to the funeral, um,
That was
when
amazing.
Wayne, Bruce Wayne comes up to him and he's talking, and his smooth delivery, just like, oh, because your daddy ain't around. Hey, hey, Penguin, you hear? Hey, it's Bruce Wayne, you hear him? Look, your daddy saved me. Now you think that was because of for nothing? And then and then Bruce is just like Hippocratical oath, and and
Yo,
then and then you just see Falcone like Hippocratical oath.
that's a good one.
That's a good one. And then Bruce walks away, and then he lets out another laugh like, who the fuck does this kid think he is? Like, I'm just like, it's outstanding. Like, I didn't expect his presence to be felt as much as it did, because
Right.
I kept hearing these bullshit ass reviews, which y'all be lying, man. Like, y'all be lying. Like, I purposely watch reviews so when it comes to my turn to review, I can call y'all out, because y'all be lying. Jesus, y'all be lying. Like, I kept hearing, like, Falcone wasn't in the movie much, and he wasn't felt. And I'm like, I felt the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he was in the movie enough. I felt like his presence was enough, because even when he wasn't on screen, his name was getting brought up a lot, and that
Right.
that means a lot to a story and a script. So I thought he was excellent, man. Like, honestly, excellent, for real. Well, what about you? What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I agree. What surprised me, because the first, I think, if not, because I didn't watch the Cat in the, I'm thinking, yeah, he wasn't in any of the trailers, and when he got
No.
casted, it wasn't that big of it seemed like it would be a subpar character, like a Batman Begins, how that crime boss was barely in the film. So I thought we'll see him in like a scene or two and stuff like that, and no, he was in the film a lot, and not just that. It's like he had an amazing foil to the story, bro. Like his attachment. I'm gonna should we just spoil that now, or should we later when we get to her character?
No, spoil it now.
Yeah, yeah. So her being cat woman Selena Kyle's real father, I was like, whoa, that's
Mm-hmm.
different. And it added a whole new wrinkle to his character and the story arc. Like he was, I don't know who you read and said he wasn't in there a lot. He was there. He was more than Alfred, in my opinion. He was in the film, and he actually had stuff to do. He was extremely menacing. Like he felt like Martin Scorsese to me he's one of my favorite directors of all time. And the gripe and the thing about Mark Scorsese is he makes a lot of gangster films, and I felt like this character could have been plucked out of the Batman and put into one of his films. Like the way he portrayed that type of character was amazing, and it was in that comical, goofy way that certain crime bosses were played. It was a very sleek, laid back intimidation value that to his character that I absolutely loved. And shout out to Henry. What's up, man? He said, "What's up?" And this is a
What's good?
random time. Yeah, it is a little random. You know, we were trying to get this up and going a little while, but after this episode, we'll get our set schedule. But thank you for stopping by, bro.
Yes, sir.
hmm So, what's a next character that you want to throw at me?
All right, next character. Hmm. You already spoke about Alfred, so I don't feel like there's really a need to speak about him.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Gordon? There we go.
Whew. Um, what's his Watson to Batman Sherlock, bro?
Yeah.
That's what I think about Gordon. I did not know. I thought this film would be more of a Batman and Catwoman type of stuff, especially with a whole trailer called Bat and the Cat. I did not expect it to
Yeah.
be him and Gordon. The dynamic, bro, the chemistry. It felt like I've seen like three films for these two before. Like I know there's a 2 year chunk missing, but I felt like I somewhat weirdly experienced those 2 years. Like it just from the opening time you meet them when he's going to the crime of the dude with when you see him with his nice little slow walk and stuff like that, like fire shop hour. By the way, how he panned it from the back, fire. But yeah, the chemistry from the start, bro, was there, and he felt like I'm not ready to give him my favorite Gordon yet, and it's solely only because it's only been one film. But shit, if he doesn't feel the truest to Gordon to any of the ones I've seen today, bro, he actually had a lot to do this go around. A lot of the times, Gordon and the other films, Gary Oldman, etc., they're just side characters, like almost little cameos, just to say Gordon exists in that world, pretty much. Well, minus Dark Knight Rises, even though he was laid up in the bed for most of the time, but here, like that's legit his partner, bro. Like
Yeah.
typically in the comics, it's Alfred that was his partner. Here they switch it around, and it was wonderful, bro. I absolutely love their dynamic, the difference. It kind of reminds me of oddly or not, in the comics, the humor between Superman and Batman, that little playful humor they had. Like one of your favorite scenes was, I'm surprised you didn't bring it up. Like when they're going into the orphanage and stuff like that, and he
Oh
says the
yeah.
no guns things. He's like, yeah, that's your thing. Like that type of
Yeah.
humor. I'm like, man, this is fantastic, bro. Like, yeah, I loved it. What about you? What how do you feel about his Henry? I said his Henry, his
Questions for you.
Gordon.
So you don't think that their relationship, because the thing I like about their relationship is I like it was more like the comics and like the animated series here than it was before. Like they actually felt like, you know, they felt like friends. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't say
100%.
it, but they
100%.
felt, yeah, they felt like friends. And I remember just watching the animated series so much, just the
Mhm.
rapport and just always talking. Of course, and to your point, I get that they weren't. They never shared a lot of screen time, or even when the comic books, they never shared a lot of like full, pages. But the way they spoke, you could tell they had a rapport, and
Mhm.
you definitely feel that here. Like you feel
Yeah.
like these dudes, like they know each other. Like, and I know you say you're not ready to give them that title, but I ain't gonna lie, dog.
I can't fault you. I really can't fault you, bro. It was an
Like, like,
amazing
like
performance.
he's easily my favorite Gordon. Like he
I
wasn't
can't fault
sorry.
you.
Like he actually like to your point about the shootout with Penguin. Like he was dropping motherfuckers. Like he was
No
shooting back. You know what I'm
hesitation
saying?
either, too, bro. And I really love how they shined how he's not corrupt and he won't like budge in that aspect. Like people that he was working with for years, his partners, he was ready to turn on them in a heartbeat because they're corrupt and stuff like that. You know what? I could go ahead and squeeze them and do this and third. I'm like, damn, I love this. And I'm sorry, just one more thing I gotta say. Like the fact they did so well with their chemistry to the point, like that one scene after the bomb blows up and they're having that argument, and then he yokes up Batman, and you see Batman's like, "Not you too." I'm like, "Damn, I
Yeah,
felt that one. I
yeah.
felt that." Yeah, but yeah, my fault. You can go ahead.
But just like to that point, just like you see that report there saying like not you too, and that's why
Mm.
Gordon was looking like, give us the room, and then you see him like act like he's hitting Batman. He's like, we got to get you out of here, and I was like, this is like this is so good, dog. Like to me, Gordon feels like a regular person that like we can the audience out of everybody in Gotham, he feels like it's a regular guy that wants to do good. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
really like that about him. Even the way he talks to Batman, like you said, hey man, that's your thing. Like
Mm.
the thumb drive. This guy's hilarious. Like if this was rated R, I'm pretty sure Gordon would have let out a whole bunch of F bombs. Like man, what the fuck is
Yo.
going on? Like you know what I'm saying? Like and again, I'm ready to give him my favorite. I've never felt and been attached to Gordon so much. Like this Gordon and Batman, their relationship is so well that if Gordon gets put in jeopardy or danger, I really
Mm.
feel like Batman is gonna hit hard for us as the audience and Batman because we
Mm.
see the relationship they have in this movie.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
little small thing like when Batman goes to see Riddler, he looks at Gordon and says, "You're a good cop." Like
Mm.
just perfect, man. I think he did an outstanding job, dog.
Yeah, and I also like how he was pretty much the comic relief a little bit. That's because this film wasn't like riddled with comedy and stuff like that. But yeah, like he was the comic relief without feeling like a butt of the joke. Like
Yeah.
he had a lot of weight and gravitas to his character, man. So yeah, well done, Jeffrey.
I love that
Great.
line, last line. I love that line when they were interrogating the Penguin after they caught him.
Hmm.
Like I love that
Hmm.
back and forth of like, you know, Gordon saying something, Batman saying something, Gordon saying something, Batman, like you could see that relationship there.
Mm.
And Gordon pulls that paper out. He was like, "Look what he did to my partner," and Penguin's like, "No, no, no!" And then he just yells, "Open your eyes!" I was
Yeah,
like, "Whoo, he's
yeah.
cold right here." So, he killed that shit, man.
All right. So the next one I'm gonna throw at you, since we're talking about him, Penguin.
Hold on, sweetheart. Like, man, yo, I just, I loved him, dog. Like,
Yo,
like that old mafia stuff. He had it down pat.
yeah.
Like every time he just spoke, like I mean, and he was like mafia, like 40s mafia, like saying, uh, if you Hoyd, like he was saying Hoyd instead of Heard. Like he was that deep into it. Like,
Yeah.
if he ever Hoyd this, he would have my head. Like, and I just he killed it, man. Like he's
I agree.
unrecognizable. Like
I
he's
agree.
unrecognizable as Will Ferrell.
Colin, whoa, hold on now. Put some respect now.
Not Will. I'm sorry, my bad. Colin Farrell, my bad. I just I was like Will Ferrell. That's not his name. But Colin, I mean, he's unrecognizable. I think he gets the mobster Penguin down to a T, like
Word.
to a T. And again, you see the building of becoming the Penguin from the comics.
Mhm.
When he spends the whole movie kind of being behind Falcone, but when it's revealed of what he did by the Riddler, well, not by the Riddler, by Gordon,
Right.
you see the Penguin kind of like just kind of look at him like, "You're a rat."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he even walks outside and he was like, "You're a rat, dog." He told this man, "If you talk crazy to me, I'll paint your face," or something like that. I was like, you know what I mean? So, and then the end scene with him looking out the window, you see him becoming the Penguin. And again, I'm rambling, but killed it.
Now go
Killed
on.
it. Like he killed it, man. Like honestly, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything. Colin Farrell is one of my he's one of those actors that I consider one of the whatever he comes out, I always watch. I watch like almost every film he does. I love him as an actor, and I don't think he's really received his flowers as how great of an actor he is, which is really weird to me. And I think after this film, he hopefully he gets it because he was a chameleon in this role, and not just because of the prosthetics and stuff like that. It's like more of what you said, his tone, like his speaking. If I had no clue, if nobody told me that was Colin Farrell, just with him speaking, and I would have never known that was him. I would have
Yeah.
thought that was an unknown actor I've never seen before. Like he owned, absolutely owned the role, and I can't wait for the Penguin series, bro, and his uprising as the Penguin, bro. He to me, I understand Danny DeVito is everybody's pretty much favorite version of Penguin and how they see the Penguin. To me, Penguin's always a mob boss and always carries himself in this stature. This is the Penguin I wanted to see. I thought we were gonna get that in the Gotham TV show, but let me be nice for tonight. I won't say anything else. But yeah, I absolutely loved his role. Like he had my favorite scene of the film, a film called The Batman with Catwoman, the Riddler, and all these characters. His scene was the best. He was a scene stealer. He ate up every. He wasn't in the film that much. Every role he was in, he killed it, man.
I agree.
Absolutely killed it, bro. Even like little stuff like um Bruce Wayne comes in, he goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I don't know, something about that just made me feel like, damn, like it just added to the aesthetics of everything. Yeah, Penguin, Chef's Kiss, loved it. What you got for me?
All right. So we gonna get into the nitty gritty now. Like,
Yes,
here we
sir.
go. Rolling up. Catwoman.
Mm. The epitome of Selena Kyle to the T. I understand Everybody loved Michelle Pfeiffer. She's great. Anne Hathaway, love her or hate her. I thought she did a good job as well. Halle Berry, I won't speak of.
Mhm.
I'll just let that be. But the thing about Michelle Pfeiffer and Anne Hathaway is I feel like they played these characters similar. They was always that evil, conniving aspect to Catwoman. But here, yo, that was this warm, vulnerable, heartfelt character, bro. Yes, she still had her aspects. You see her, she's the jewel thief, she's after the money. She still has that, but seeing this different approach to her, and I know it's the beginning, but you could easily see how a person like that later on became this cold, hard, like cruel individual. And I loved that we got like this or the it should have just been called the Batman Origins because everybody had these amazing origin stories, bro. And Zoe Kravitz absolutely owns the role. She like I saw her on screen, and mind you, I've seen her in a few stuff. I don't watch all her stuff, but like I felt Selena Kyle to the T, bro. Like, she owned the role, absolutely owned the role, and the way that she was able to make and let herself be so vulnerable in certain aspects, man, was very amazing to see. Like that one scene when she well, it's actually multiple scenes, it's like back to back. First the rooftop when she finds out the pops killed the girl. Her acting on that was fire. Like you felt her pain, bro. Like I legit felt like yeah, that dude was a goner. But also when he approached Falcone, bro, she killed it, man. Absolutely killed it. Let me not like steal too much. I gotta let you
No,
get in
don't.
here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I think I'm good because the next thing I'm going to talk about was I love how it felt like a video game. Like all these different characters had different like styles of fighting, like her agility, her speed, like like a lot of I know we spoke about this over the weekend how a lot of people feel like the bigger person is guaranteed to win a fight at all times. But
Mhm.
she went toe to toe with Falcone's goon or boss, and she had she had the dude kissing the ground. So I loved it, bro. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, what's your thoughts of Catwoman?
Yeah, I thought Catwoman was amazing. Like I said, I've
Hmm.
always thought Zoe would feel like let me tell you something. It's crazy, right? I have thought Zoe was perfect for Catwoman since I saw her in First Class X-Men.
Hmm.
Like I saw her playing that character and everything. Like I was like, she would be an awesome Catwoman. I literally thought that back then.
Hmm.
I was like, because she always for me as a person, she has this like mysterious kind of dangerous vibe about her. Just kind of like you don't really know
Right.
what she's capable of or what she can do, but you don't want to try her at the same time because she seems like she might really can kick your ass. So it's like
Hmm.
I always felt she was perfect for Catwoman, and she did not. I mean, honestly excelled because I didn't expect her to be in here this much, and I didn't expect her to have this much to do as far
Right.
as acting and story, and you really just get a sense of everything from the character. She gives you everything, like, and he's just perfect as Catwoman because while she does have like this mysterious, sexy nature about her, I mean it's pretty obvious, but
Hmm.
she also has this badass. I do what I want, and I can protect myself nature too. You know,
Right.
she made it clear to Batman. She made it clear to Batman, like I don't need your help. I can protect myself. I
Yep.
don't. You know, and regardless of what you say to me, I do what I want to do. Like when Batman tried to get her. Well, he pretty much got her to walk through the club getting names, and she pretty much
Hmm.
in the middle of that was like, I don't want to do it anymore. That's it. It's a wrap.
Hmm.
Or like you said, when she found Kinsey, not Kinsey, it was like yeah, when she found Kinsey and had him roped up, and
Hmm.
Batman's like, don't kill, don't kill. You know what she did? She kicked him off the roof anyway.
Yep.
Kicked his ass clean off the building and ran. And she actually tried to kill Falcone. Like it wasn't like
Sure
she didn't
did.
try. Like she went after him, shooting at him and all that. I think she
Hmm.
even killed one of his men because I mean she shot dude and then like slammed his head into the like. So she still did what she wanted to do. What she wanted to do at all times. I liked her
Right.
fighting style. I remember, I think I heard Zoe say that she practiced in what's that martial? It's the same martial arts. Do you know who Eddie Gordo is from Tekken 3? You know what that is?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
It's
I
almost
am.
like breakdancing, like kicking, like
Uh-huh.
I forgot the name. It starts with a C, but she said that she practiced a lot of that kind of fighting, and you definitely can see that when we get done. Just go YouTube and type in Eddie Gordo from Tekken, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
The way she fights is very similar to that. So again, Catwoman, I love the back changes. You know, her being Falcone's daughter, it just made things
Yep.
that much more, you know, that much more bigger than what I imagined it to be. And it
Mhm.
gave her a valid reason to be in the story. You know what I mean? Because your daughter who got left behind, it makes sense why you would want to, you know,
Is it called
be in
Caparia or something like
upcoming
that?
vengeance. Yep, that's it. That's it right there.
All
Yep.
right.
It's that fighting style. But
I'm not
Catwoman,
gonna take. I'm not
spectacular.
gonna take credit for
Spectacular.
that one. Let me stop. That was the wife that just texted me and gave me the name, so I'm not gonna take credit for that.
She know.
She
But
know. She know a lot better than I do.
I'm telling you, when you look it up, the fighting style,
Mhm.
and you watch it, like you'd be like, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what she's from. So
Bet I'm gonna look that up.
stellar job, man. Stellar. You know what I mean? So yeah,
All
that's how I
right.
feel.
And also, before I hit you with another name, how did I not even bring this up? That dynamic between her and Batman, bro.
Oh yeah.
Sheesh. God damn. Prior to this, it might still be my number one, but this dynamic was right there. My favorite comic book relationship, movie wise, not in the comics, has always been Gwen Stacy and Spider Man from the Amazing Spider Man franchise. I thought their dynamic was amazing. But here, give me two more films with this. Love it. I could easily see how in the later films a real cat and mouse chase happens. Like here
Yeah.
it's more lovey dovey. Like she was ready to give her give him her all and all that. Like she snuck in what, two kisses already? Homie was
Yeah.
unconscious, getting ready to pass out. She's like, before you do, let me let me lay one on you. So yeah, I love the chemistry, bro. So on to the next one. Riddler. What's your thoughts? Man. Mm-hmm.
Bro, look at my glasses. Right? You see these?
Yo.
The Riddler
To a
joints. You
T.
know what I mean?
Yo.
These is the Riddler joints. I did it on purpose because this man is one of the best villains. Period. Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
and it's established from the jump.
Literally.
Like, I'm telling you, I was not expecting that. I spoke about it earlier. Mayor moves, he's standing there. Light flash, he's still standing there, and you just see his eyes following like a hawk, just like. And it's kind of like, and watching it today, you can see the disgust in his eyes. He's just looking at him like, "You piece of shit!" Like he's looking at him like that. And then when he gets the right moment, oh
my God,
he's fantastic. Like, I wanted to watch this movie again just to hear him talk, because I love every single thing he said in this movie.
Yo.
Every single thing. His projection, his creepy voice, his teetering of being a genius but a psychopath at the same time. The way he just can go in and out of tonal pitches and vocals. Like I said earlier, like when he ups that pitch and starts yelling, it just everything gets extremely unsettling. Like you can feel that unhinged person coming out.
Yep.
Man, like a dead ass horror villain, damn near. Like he almost was a damn slasher. Like that's how brutal
For real.
and methodical he was. What can I say? Like just when, like I said, when he's reading those riddles off, just like I'm gonna read a riddle, and if you can tell the time, I'll let you go and give you the code. You want to play? And then he just presses the button, and he's just like, "If
Right.
you are not justice, please do not lie."
Mm.
Like his voice, I love it. Like I love the attention to detail. Like, and he's just creepy. Like, and I'm gonna go off about this because I fantastic. Like the Riddler to me was one of the best parts about the movie. His creepiness, like this thing he would do when he just starts breathing, he's just like, I'm just like, what is wrong with this dude? What the like, what is wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love the conversation he had in the investigation room when he's just talking to Batman. He just kept going, Bruce Wayne. And then he flips the switch and just because like he can go back to normal, and then the Riddler voice, like he teeters it, the entire time. And it's just he's extremely chilling, man. Like such a great villain. Like I definitely would love to see him again sometime, even if it's just a cameo, just to hear him talk. Like,
right.
I'm gonna let you go because
no, man. See, that's why I tell you, like, I purposely didn't watch your review so I could formulate my own opinions, and it didn't seem like we were just mimicking each other because we are like we share the same mindset when it comes to certain films, especially these type of films. Like we enjoy the same type of comic book films. I would say as far as tone and stuff like that go. But yeah, unhinged, unsettling, uneasy, batshit crazy is is the best way I could explain this Riddler, man. He was everything and then some. What I really appreciate is hold on. Darian. Oh yeah. Darian Sitta Riddler will definitely be back. Especially with that tease, without a doubt, especially with that tease. It'll be a no-brainer to bring him back. But what I appreciate exactly. And what I appreciate about this is just I was about to say Joker, you threw me right off. What I like about this Riddler is the fact that he was like the Zodiac killer, but he still had that quirky little bit of comic book aspects of Riddler that you would see. Like he wasn't just straight, I'm a serial killer, I'm gonna kill this person. He had that demeanor, that fun aspect, like especially when he was like the bomb was across the DA's neck and stuff like that, bro. Like I felt some Riddler aspects, bro, and I'm really perplexed at the fact, in my opinion. Let me watch it some more times, but this is easily.
You know, watch it more than you know the deal.
No, so you trying to put me in this box where I say something and then later on I might be like, oh, maybe I was drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much. But
say what you no. I ain't
what you mean?
Say what you're gonna say. Say it. I want to hear it because you keep doing this all night. Say it.
No, I'll probably say he's my favorite villain performance in DC, right behind Ledger. Oh, I'll definitely say that. Yeah, what happened here?
You just went dark on me, son.
Yeah, I know I'm dark, but damn, I didn't think I was that dark now.
Dark.
For the time being, it looks like my camera went out for a little while.
Your camera died, dog?
Yeah, so I told you this was gonna happen. I'm gonna have you take over for a little bit until I switch it around. But
So you got
yeah,
another battery though, right?
I don't have another battery, and my wife been on my case to get another battery for the longest.
Yo, see, you know, that's what a good wife would do. They'll check our asses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and she does that easily,
My wife,
24/7.
she definitely checks me like, you need to get that. You need to get that together. So like, come on.
I gotta have a bigger battery than that.
All right, so we talking about the Riddler. Yo, oh, you back?
Yeah, I gotta use this camera for now.
Oh, it's the webcam.
Yep, it's a webcam. Sorry, y'all. He already put it out. You know that any technical issues, it'll be my fault. And as you can see, he was true. He was true to his word about it. My bad. I tried. But let me shout out Henry again. You know, thank you for participating in the first film wrap up live stream. He says Paul Dano's perfect casting. If you haven't seen Prisoners, did he say Holy Chips?
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah,
Holy Chips, he does a fantastic job. Absolutely. Have you seen Prisoners?
I haven't. I've been meaning to watch it though.
Oh my God, that's a must. One of my Dennis, bro, Villeneuve, one of my favorite films to date. If you think Paul Dano's good here, Lord Almighty, check that out, bro. He did
No,
like Henry's
dead
100%
ass though.
right.
After this movie, I'm gonna check Paul Dano. I'm gonna look at his whole thing because I mean,
Oh,
what he did here is
where is it? Where
it's
is
amazing.
it? Right here. If you're gonna do that, or is it? Can you see it? There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, I never
Have you
seen
ever
it.
seen that and Prisoners? That and Prisoners. All I gotta say is you're welcome. Henry also said it's available on Hulu. So if you don't currently own it,
Hulu, I got that. I got
yeah.
that.
So like I was saying, he's right below Heath Ledger to me. His performance was dynamic. He was the other side of the coin, the Batman. Seeing why he was a thing in the first place, like it's the Riddler's only a thing because the Batman is a thing, and they do such a amazing job. Usually, that's something you see between Joker and Batman, and for them to associate that with another character, I thought it was great. His performance was extremely unhinged. The very first time, like you said, you were introduced to him, and he does this unsettling scream, bro.
Yeah, you keep talking about that. You always
it
that part
just,
up.
bro. And I watching it the second time, I know it's coming, but yet I'm still not prepared for it, bro. I was like, God damn. The only other performance I could see that reminds me, I told you, was Punisher like before he throws a punch, he does that loud scream. It reminds you of an uncaged animal just going beast mode. And Riddler was just so smart, intelligent with the way. I love how he challenged. Like this is another part of how Reeves wasn't afraid to show Batman's flaws, bro. I loved how he challenged Joker. Batman was like, "Oh, you're not as smart as I thought." Like the fact that he didn't pick out that
I give you
last
too
clue.
much credit.
Oh, too much credit. I was grinning from in the ear. I'm like, yeah, disrespect him, bro. That's not your homie. He trying to destroy everything that you like. I was game for it. To me, what will make a top tier film is you gotta have that amazing antagonist. Like you're only as good as your antagonist, and I think Paul Dano was the perfect antagonist to this version of a young Batman. Definitely. Like later on, maybe Batman's gonna be a lot smarter, more seasoned, but perfect. And he said, and Henry once again says, "Thank you for the content, man. Thank you for joining, bro. We definitely appreciate it. I could speak to Rap when I say that it's much appreciated."
Oh yeah,
and
for
he
sure.
also,
Mad. appreciative.
Definitely. He's always showing love, and I gotta respect Henry for that. He
Yeah.
says, I haven't heard of There Will Be Blood. Definitely going to check it out. Henry, let me tell you this. I'm not sure what type of films you like, but this is easily one of the greatest films ever made. I'll just throw that out there. I'll just throw that. I'm not, like I said, I don't know what type of movie you're usually into, but recommend it, especially if you're a Paul Dano fan. If you like Prisoners, you got taste, my man. So that's all I got to say. All right,
big steps right there.
Yes, sir. Okay, the last one. Go ahead, introduce who's the last person we got to speak about. Yes, sir.
And then the best part is when he slows it down and it just really hits.
Magnificent.
Rob Pattinson is Bruce Wayne / Batman.
All of that.
Now you know how I feel about Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh, here we go.
You know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what's that meme they be using, that dude like.
Oh, from from Wildin' Out, Consequence,
yeah,
or whatever. Is that his name?
He just like I'm not gonna lie, I think I still do have Ben Affleck like as my number one,
but
Rob Pattinson.
Go ahead, Affleck, get out of your chest. Whoo. Wait, so it's a tie then?
It's a tie.
Okay.
Of Pattinson having one movie. So, depending on what he does this next movie, though, I mean, he could be number one for me.
Really?
For real, because
because I know how much you love whatchamacallit. Well, I know how we talk about him all the time, Affleck. So one more movie and he could be your number one.
He could be, because
I
mean, what I saw here was, I mean, he knocked out the park for both of them. I'm not saying Affleck didn't either, because Affleck is fantastic. Like, it still hurts my soul that we're not gonna get a solo movie from him just because he's so great. But Pattinson, I mean, like, this is a dude that you could tell he studied the character, all his mannerisms, the way he just walks into a room, the tone of his voice and the way he says stuff. Like, dude is legitimately damn near perfect. Like, and a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I haven't seen this kind of Bruce before. He's dark. This isn't the Bruce Wayne." Bro, read Zero Year, because he is 100% that version. He is 100% Zero Year. Like, the first half of Zero Year, he's literally doing the same thing. He's not even Bruce Wayne. He just stays in the house, but he ends up running into problems with not doing that. He ends up learning to have to be the Bruce Wayne that's public, and everything in this movie says that's where he's going. At the end of the movie, he's like, I have to do more. I have to be more. I'm not getting it done just being vengeance. It's not about that. I have to be the hope for the city. And being that hope, I have to do more. And it's just his acting, like being able to convey so much without even saying anything.
Yep.
I mean, the whole funeral, he didn't say a word. Well, he said a few words, of course, but a lot of looks and just gestures, even as Batman, like small little things, like when he went back to the Riddler's apartment and Officer Martinez, and Officer Martinez is like, "What are you doing here?" He like, and just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Martinez giving clues. Batman turns to him again, flashes the light on him. It's just like he's perfect at conveying himself through body language. And that's a lot of Batman. Batman does that.
I
Like, you
agree.
know to deal with him as soon as he walks in a room. Like the way he carries himself, you don't really want to mess with him because it's just you don't really know. He carries this mysterious nature about him. Even the way he talks, like he killed it, man. Like he killed it. Like, I don't know what else to say. I knew he was gonna do a great job, but I mean, he knocked that out of the park way further than what I even expected. Like, just it's his movie still. He doesn't get outshined. He's still the focal point. Great Batman, great Bruce Wayne. You really see the intellect in this Batman. You see the detective. You see how smart he is. Like him being able to just come up with all these answer all these riddles so quickly and spew them back. Him taking an extra look at around the scene to find different clues that the cops don't even see. And
Right.
the thing about that I love is Matt Reeves didn't make the cops stupid either. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody in the room was stupid. It's just that Batman's eye is so keen that it's looking different ways that nobody else is looking.
Right.
Like the first, this is my last thing. Like the first time we see Batman walk into a crime scene, it might not have been the first one, but it's some scene he walks in and he looks at the bookcase. He kind of goes, and then he
Yep.
sees something in there and just pulls it out and he's like, look at this. It's just small little stuff like that makes him such a great Batman and getting that detective down pat, man. Like Pattinson got it down pat. Pun intended.
Pun intended, he says. Yeah, shit, what else? What else can I say? Let's see. But yeah, this is the quintessential Batman, in my opinion. The closest to Batman we've got in any film to date, and that he's more complete of a character, believe it, as a Batman character than Ben Affleck. And
Yeah, he is.
what I mean by
He is.
that is, I loved Ben Affleck's Batman, but there's certain things that I couldn't 100% get in between. But him, is almost everything I could get in between. Get with not, and I felt like Reeves played us a little bit because he made it seem like this character, this Batman, was supposed to be this unhinged character, this dark Batman, but he was extremely hopeful. His whole reasoning for even doing this was hope. Like the opening monologue did a amazing job of letting you know what this Batman has been through all these 2 years and stuff like that. And another point I was gonna bring out, Henry said one example, the footprint scene.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely 100% agree with that, bro. And
He
speaking
looks
about
down and sees that footprint.
yep, and speaking about foot, this has to be one of the greatest Batman openings. Nolan got two of them in The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. But the introduction, the introduction to Batman, hearing the footsteps first. Not, you know what, I'm jumping the gun. Just how the criminals like believe he's in the shadows, but he is the shadows. And you see his the bat signal shined up in the light and the fierce that strikes every single one of these criminals. Like they stop doing whatever they're doing, and then you first introduce with him and you hear the footsteps, bro. Like what the hell is, like, what is that? Because I don't believe that's in any of the trailers, right? So
No,
nobody saw that coming, and he
no.
comes out the shadows like a damn creature, bro. All this talk about how Robert Pattinson, Twilight Boy, and all this nonsense. I found him more intimidating than 6'4", 200 and whatever pound Ben Affleck. And it's not just, and it wasn't because of his structure. It was his mannerisms, bro. The way this Batman was so calculated with every single thing he did. how he moves, how he walks, how he stares at you makes you uncomfortable and easy. Like if I seen him just staring at me without saying a word, I'll commit a crime right off the bat, even if I didn't do it. Like I say I did it. Like he's just who would like. I knew Rob could just transform himself into whatever character he needs to, but I was talking to Darren about it. I didn't even believe at certain points that was even Rob under that. Where I'm like, yo, this a stunt double or something, bro. Something ain't right here. It don't make sense. But yeah, I loved I keep bringing Darren up because we us three we always chop it up as far
Yeah,
as this goes. But I do believe this is a character study of sorts, and I know you said it's more than just a character study because it really dove into other characters. But the film itself is called The Batman, and the opening scene, the mind monologue into the ending monologue are two polar people. Like you wouldn't think that's the same people. He sees his error in his ways. He sees the hope. He knows what he has to do in order to fix this broken city and Gotham and stuff like that. Like and throughout all that, what I respect, like a lesser director or anybody, like Batman finds out that Falcone might have been the one that killed his parents, he's
hmm
going rage mode. He's gonna break his no kill rule. But no, it didn't even come up in his psyche at all, bro. He stuck to his morals and yeah, and he stayed true to Batman. I know a lot of people consider the no kill rule to be corny and stuff like that. There's just something about that associated with Batman just feels so right to me. I don't know what it is. I find it more like impactful to Batman than it is to even Superman, in my opinion. Especially like human beings are these imperfect specimens and stuff like that. So for him, his morale to be that strong, his conviction that and he wants the best out of everybody. Like Catwoman, he refused to let her go down, this dark road that she was going, bro. Loved it, absolutely loved it. The fight scenes, I was trying to before this film came out. I was trying to depict like what kind of fight scenes we would get, like with his structure and stuff like that. I, I thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled, bro. He was extremely calculated as far as he was so precise at where he hits you. I understand like he's new to this. He has no training, but that one scene when he went after Catwoman and he was just dressed as Bruce Wayne, he ducks into I forgot where it is, and the bodyguard follows him. Two sweet hits into the chin, done. Done. Little stuff like that could be impactful than a whole scene of Batman fighting Bane in a stairwell and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, amazing job, man. Absolutely amazing job. This is easily the most complex version and a real broken character as far as Batman goes, and I loved it, man. And that detective aspect, man, it's really wonderful to see, bro. It's really wonderful to see everything. As a kid watching Batman growing up, I felt like was envisioned, was seen like in screen, bro.
yeah,
I was sitting, I was watching, I had my mask on, but if I would have took it off, I would have had that Joker smile all over my face because I was grinning, legit grinning from ear to ear, bro. From the minute he stepped from the shadows, I could ramble about it all day, but this is fantastic. And Darian, the homie, says by the end of the film, he realizes that a bunch of ways he was doing things was the wrong way to do it, and that's the start of an arc in his growth. Oh, 100% agree. 100%, yeah, yeah. That's why I agree with your assessment when you say it's a character study because it broke down everything that we thought Batman represented and what Batman was. He's not this cool guy that's perfect and could do everything. There's so much imperfection to this character and just learning and growth. Like, I definitely agree. And that's why I told you this. I believe the Batman will be the weakest film of the trilogy. That's how great I believe the next two films will be, in my opinion. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. 100%. All right.
I mean, you and to go on that, it's funny after we had that conversation about it being a character study. I do agree, and I stand corrected of not considering, because it was a lot of people who get the deep dives, but it's definitely 100% a character study. Just thinking about the different values and things that he learns. I mean, one of the big scenes was, after he gets done beating that dude up, after taking venom, and yes, I think that's venom. It's not adrenaline, like
100%.
somebody had to tell me. And speaking of venom, he actually took it again when he got shot before jumping in his car.
Has to be.
Because if you watch it, when you watch it again, when he gets shot, he's laying on the ground, and you see him go for the same knee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he goes for it. He's like, but then it cuts back.
I didn't know that.
Because I'll look for it today, and yeah, he goes for it again in his knee. And
so after Penguin shoots him and he's laid out on the floor.
Yeah, like he's laying. You see him move his arms, and he's like, and he goes for the same exact knee pocket, because that's where he has it at. But after he takes the venom and beats that dude to death, almost to death, Gordon's like, "Who are you?" And then he's like, "I'm vengeance."
Yes.
And at that moment, Batman's like, "I'm sending the wrong message. I'm sending the wrong message to the city, and that's why I haven't helped anything for the past 2 years." And just that's just a great character arc, and I think him sacrificing himself, to save the city, cutting the electricity off,
fire,
dropping into the water, which in itself is like a baptism. You know what I'm saying? Like, drops in the water, comes out a new person. And then the Moses reference of him leading the people through the water, with the flare gun, the flare stick, just shows that he evolved into the hope that the city needs. So that in itself is a character study. Like,
Darian also says there's a story in the comics where he gets addicted to taking whatever that is. Yeah, I felt like I forgot the name of that of that comic run, but I think
it's called Batman Venom. I think it's called like literally.
Is that Venom?
Yeah, I think
that might be Venom. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Reeves did an amazing job with these Easter eggs. This franchise can honestly go in any route. Like, you have, like what you just said, Venom. You have Hush, which literally stamped Hush. You have Joker, which we're gonna touch about just a little bit before we end the show. Like, there's so many different routes that you could go with these characters, bro. It's endless possibilities. Like a Court of Owls, you gotta
he gotta do that. He has to.
Like, it makes, like, I feel like that's as much as I love Joker, and as much as I've been talking about Hush for the past 2 weeks nonstop. It's right here in my trusty. Let me see if I can whip out that bad boy.
All right, come on.
As much as I love Hush, what you call it? I feel like Court of Owls is exactly the story that it's a slight little flex. Or what's this? I feel like Batman Hush is the exact story. Not Hush. I'm talking about Court of Owls that Batman needs, and it fits the character perfectly. God damn, I got comments. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it.
You think you slick?
What you mean, bro? What you? It just I saved the best. Woo! Lord of mercy. One of my favorite comics to date, bro. This shit is damn near a masterpiece.
See what I got. You sitting there pulling out flex machines.
It's a little
stuff is framed. No, you trying to flex too hard, dog. Like, I don't appreciate this at all.
It's just to let people know that I really do this, bro. Like, I really do read comics. I'm not just a guy on YouTube that goes on what is it?
Wikipedia.
Yeah, and look up these shits. Like, I really do read comics, bro. I'm about that life. I'm a nerd in heart. Like, I feel like the definition of geek and nerds has officially changed. Like, early 2000s, you would not see nerds or geeks or whatever that look like us. And yeah, well, I'm
No.
embracing that role to 100%. And Henry says also great thing too is his suit got damaged too. You saw it get damaged. Yeah, man. His suit got lit up, bro. His
The
suit got lit
shotgun
up.
blast.
Bro, thank you for bringing that up, Henry, because I'm looking up at pictures and I'm watching this film. How perfect did Rob look in that suit, bro? That suit itself. I remember when it was first introduced. I didn't know how I felt about it because it felt like so many different moving pieces. He took inspiration from all these different like Batmans and stuff like that. Like the Crow was from another run, the Arkham Asylum body gear, like everything about it. I think it was called Batman Gaslight or something
Yeah,
like that.
gaslight.
Yeah,
With the
all of
collar.
these. But when you see it in live action, I don't know if it's the post work, but so beautiful,
It
bro.
ain't post.
Absolutely.
I think it looks gorgeous in general. When I started seeing the set photo, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this, you know.
Dog, like this shit looks perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Because seeing it in the setting is what makes it look better too. Like seeing it with, on the street, seeing it with the backdrop of the city, seeing it, with rain and all that stuff, it just makes a huge difference than just seeing like the screen test.
Mm-hmm. And the homie Darian said one of the best Batman stories. I'm guessing you're speaking of the movie, and yeah, I definitely agree. So yeah, easily one of the best Batman stories. And Paul George, but I know we're not talking about the LA Clipper point guard. I'm not 100% sure what that means.
What shit?
But thank you for the love. Much is that what Voom today or hey? Thank you for the love, and also Henry says it looked good, especially the logo he uses for a few things. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a logo for show, definitely. And I remember when this was first introduced, a lot of people thought it was the gun that killed his parents that he just melted down, but that definitely does not seem to be the case. It looks like I don't know exactly what it is, but is it a knife? Is that what it is?
Because that's what he cut the cord with.
Oh, okay.
The electric cord.
So this Batman doesn't have really gadgets yet. There's no batarangs, there's no smoke grenades. I don't think he used any.
No, he had stuff.
But he didn't use it in this film.
No,
which
he
makes
didn't use it
because you're not really fighting. Oh, I say that for later for the closing statements. But yeah, definitely agree. That the way that he used the symbol was amazing. And Darian was talking about Hush. Yeah, easily one of the greatest Batman stories put to date. There's so many different moving pieces into it, and obviously he wouldn't be able to adapt Hush how it is in the comics because there's a lot of characters not introduced. But Reeves is a genius. He'll find a way to. There's a lot of bits and pieces that you could take and add into it. But moving on, because we stayed into this a little. Before we get into a little fun part of the show, I think we should talk about the scene towards the end. The two cellmates talking. What's your official thoughts and opinions about it? What do you think about that scene overall?
I mean, I loved it. All the talk about it being unnecessary and why was it put in there. I don't really think like it's just weird to me. And I'm about to get a little biased for a second, but whatever. It's just weird to me that it's A-okay when the MCU does it for every single movie, but if DC does a small little tease, it's all of these questions. Who is that? Oh, what's the point of that? Oh, it didn't need it. Like, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is. Like it's a tease, bro. It's not there to be a trailer. It's not there to be this mythical puzzle piece. It's just there to add on to how lived in this world of Gotham is. Like, it's just the idea of like, oh, Batman already has met a Joker, so who else is out there? And it goes in even where it's placed in the movie, like it's placed after Bruce's monologue about needing to help the city. Right. And he even says it's going to get worse before it gets better, and then it goes straight into that scene. So it's not
Mhm.
like it's just randomly put there. It's put there for the purpose to be like, it could get worse if these two villains are let loose, or even other villains are out there. So I'm like, I enjoyed it. I loved the little dialogue. I loved his voice. I loved him. Dancing around the questioning, like, one day you're a man on top, then the next day you're a clown.
Right.
Riddle me this.
Mm.
I love their back and forth, like, Riddler in there crying because he lost, and Joker's like, don't cry,
Riddler
my friend,
crying. That's
don't
crazy.
cry. And then I love the little laughter they share. He's like, a friend, and then they just start snickering together diabolically.
Mhm.
Like, that's so Batman. That's so like animated series. Like,
Agreed.
it just brought me into, as a kid, like, okay, can we watch the next episode? Like, what's that about? Can we see where
Mhm.
this like? So I'm just like, I don't know how you can be a Batman fan and sit there and hate on that shit. I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. So my answer to anybody saying is, was this necessary, is was a tease of Adam Warlock and Guardians 2 necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Was a tease of, I believe it was Homecoming at the end when they had Cap in his in that little school monitor thing talking about expectations or whatever at the end. Like, was that necessary? Like, it's a cameo? Like, would people be happier if it was an end credit posting? Would they be complaining then? Like, it's like not even a 2 minute little scene, like letting you know that this character's here. Like, stop it. I loved it. And Henry said something regarding that. He said, "Have you seen Matt Reeves talk about Joker?" Yes, we did. And I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loved it. His description about the Joker, everything. How he can't stop smiling because it's a disease. He's also, I think, adapted from, what is it called, The Man Who Laughs or something like that.
Yeah.
I loved it. It seems like Reeves, as much as he's trying to downplay it as to him not really having a plan for to pop. He's lying. Stop it.
Cap.
That's all cap. A Joker, the biggest. Like, listen, that's Joker, bro. There you go, Cap. That's Joker. There's no way you have that dude as your arsenal. And the actor they casted is no little unknown character. His star is rising. Nice try, Reeves. Nice try.
He
But
ain't
yeah,
fooling nobody.
not a soul. And Darian also said that it would have been dope to have him in this, because I know he loves Joker. But Darren said Joker doesn't care about anybody, so it makes me wonder if he will double cross him at some point. Of course, 100%. There's no way in hell that Joker will get along with anybody. Yeah, he'll definitely cross him. And as smart as Riddler is, you're not outsmarting Joker, bro. That's not a no. He already had him in the palm of his hand in that scene alone. But yeah, I enjoyed the scene. It was a fun little tease. It wasn't meant to be anything more than that. Like, so yeah, I had no issues with that.
Yeah. Same
And
here.
yeah. So next up, I believe it's the scores, right? Is that what's next?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Score.
Yep. So we're starting to end off this podcast, this episode. Thank you again for everybody that listened, that stopped by. But we're gonna end it off with a little bit of fun. Film wrap up. We got to get some music somehow into this, and sticking with the Batman theme. There's one thing that these Batmans have, even the lesser ones. Great scores, bro. Absolute great scores. I'll let you choose how you want to do it. Do you want to pick your number one favorite score, top five, top three, or just your choice of favorite Batman scores?
I probably think top three is more necessary since there are so many movies. Because like
That
what 9 movies, eight solo Batman movies.
I was hoping you said that because I got my three ready, lock and loaded.
Yeah, we can do three.
Mhm. Oh, you
I
thinking hard?
Yeah, I'm thinking, man, because two of them already know, but it's the third one that I'm like, Well, first of all, I guess the first one I'm going to say the Batman. I think this theme is incredible. Like, I mean, that blaring, dun, 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 it's so simple but impactful as hell. Like, that's going to be stuck in my head. So that's number one of them. Second choice, we still have solos, right? Just solos.
I bet BVS counted. That's what you were going for.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like when I rank all the Batman movies, I don't include BVS because it's like
I didn't either, but I'm seeing everybody and their mother include that. But
it doesn't
I
make
would
sense to
add
me
it.
because
But I would add it because if we're gonna count Affleck as one of our favorite Batmans, that's the only real portrayal he had. Like he has to 'cause otherwise we can't really, he never had a solo film.
yeah, it's because that's the thing about it. I already added because he never had a film himself to like flesh him out totally. I mean,
Right.
like so I'm not gonna include that one. But I do love just I guess as a runner up, I do love his score in Batman vs Superman. That joint is like I love the intensity of it.
Real quick, Henry says, I'm not even a score guy, but the score for the Batman is good. When Batman walks, the music is playing. Fire emoji. Absolutely. And to touch on what Henry's saying, I love how, yes, the score plays a lot of the times when Batman plays when he walks, but it's different sections of the score. Like it's not just the same thing playing repetitively over and over and over again. It's different. There's a tell in the score, middle section of the score, different instruments of the score. It's like the same score, but just played up differently with it. I love that aspect. Absolutely love that. And what were you saying with the finishing your ranking?
Oh yeah, so of course I got the Batman. I would probably have to do. I like the Dark Knight score. Hans Zimmer is a beast. Like,
Fuck. Damn.
like,
Shit.
like Hans Zimmer. It's just that like this swelling and then them drums that just start hitting. Like,
Oh, you just saved me.
so I have the Dark Knight. Or his theme that pretty much his theme for that trilogy. It pretty much is. It kind of changes, each movie, but it's still the same type of thing. So I'm gonna say that one, and
so far you have the Batman and the Dark Knight, and then you have one more left, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just say both of these. The animated series, I'm not sure if we counting.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, go for it.
The animated series, just that.
Shit, that's a good one.
That one, and I don't know which one it is, but the one that's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yo.
dun, dun. And
Shit,
that
I
one,
forgot
you know
about
what?
that one.
That one is third.
Okay.
That because I know the tunes and all that stuff for that one. So I think that's Batman Forever. Maybe which one is that?
Yeah, I can't believe Batman Forever again. Yo, you're welcome, Darian. Thank your boy.
Yeah. So the Batman, the Dark Knight, Batman Forever for me. Those three.
Damn yo. So I'm gonna need a new co-host. Applications are welcome because this man just included Batman Forever.
I'm gonna make you sick right now, dog.
Yo, don't.
I'm about to make you sick right now.
Bro, stop the blasphemy, please. Stop the blasphemy. What is this?
I'm about to make you sick. You want to talk junk? You want to run your mouth?
What you about to do? Oh my god. Ew.
The Batman
Why?
Forever.
I didn't even know that was
a
was a thing, bro.
Well, you don't know. Well, this is also a thing too.
What's that?
Well, no, this the OG one. Never mind. I thought he.
That's the Adam West one. That's cool.
But Batman.
That actually look clean though. I ain't even gonna front. The eyebrows though. Like if we're gonna talk about Batman pops, bro, come on now. Come on now.
No, no. I'm not
Come
competing
on
with you with
now.
that. I
got two more around here somewhere.
bro. Please say your score, man. I'm getting tired, bro. Come on.
All right, so my score is number 3. It's fuck. Oh shit, Batman '89, I guess. The Michael Keaton joint.
Yes.
Yeah, because
The hell you mean you
between
guess?
that, because it was either that or yo, get out of here, Darren, with that, bro. Ain't nobody with your Batman forever nonsense. But number 2, I would have The Dark Knight, especially as soon as Two-Face dies and then he gets on his bike and that music starts swelling up. That right there, bro. That right there. Damn, yo. So those are interchangeable. It could be either 89 at number 2 or that at number 2. But number 1, the Batman. Come on, bro. The Batman, easily. Not even a second thought to it. And Henry says again, after watching the Batman, does you want to play Batman Arkham Knights? For me, I will be playing it every day. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I actually do. I used to play those all the time, but kind of retired off those. It's been a while since I picked up the sticks, but definitely. And before we top off, a few more that we forgot, but we pretty much talked about it. The future that we see this trilogy could go. We talked about the Court of Owls, Hush.
Yeah, we talked about
anything else? Yeah, I think we already.
I think Court of Owls. I think everybody wants to see Court of Owls being done. Like I think there's like a clip of, I think the cast reading, talking about the movies, and even Robert Pattinson was like, I think we should do the Court of Owls. Like,
yeah, no, that's when Paul Dano was like, no.
Yeah, he's like, I think you shouldn't have said that, but you got
that's a no-brainer. And lastly, right before we get off, which out of the first, because we talk about Batman Begins and Batman, were the best first joints? Batman Begins or the Batman?
Which one is better?
Yeah, like you think is the best. Yo, that's a legitimate question. I legit seen some top 10s where Batman Begins is number 1. I'll just say that. I've seen. It just reminds me of No Way Home when it came out. Everybody started loving Amazing Spider-Man for some reason. Now I'm seeing a lot of Batman Begins love. So which one you think did it better? Legit question, by the way. Look at him with that smug look, yo.
I mean, you already know my answer.
I bet he said he thinks Batman Forever is better.
All right, okay. You think the Batman is better than Batman Begins, and I'm gonna just say that respectfully. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay. I like throw that little respect. Believe it or not,
forget it. The Batman is way better than Batman Begins. Like
there we go.
Way better.
Cordial.
And no, I'm saying this because I've always told people, people like, I love The Dark Knight, love what Nolan did. People hold those movies as such a standard, and my stance has always been they're good. They're really great movies, but they are not like great Batman films. And for the longest, people have kind of been like, "What do you mean by that?" And now that we got this movie, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Like the Batman is a great movie like those, but it's also a phenomenal Batman movie. Like the best. It's the best Batman movie, period, in general. Like that's where I see it.
Okay, definitely respect that. And for me, believe it or not, it's Batman Begins, and it's because I felt like I got a duality between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like in the Batman, it was pretty much all Batman and maybe 2% Bruce Wayne. So
you're lying. Stop lying.
Yo, I tried. I'm wearing this hoodie for a reason, dog. Like, come on, bro.
Lying. I didn't buy that one bit. I'm waiting for him to say sight.
I saw your face. That's why I was laughing. But it's the Batman.
Don't believe bro. That. Don't believe that.
They're in different. They're in different class of film, man. It really is. Now, if we were talking about The Dark Knight in here, that's a different conversation. But I don't even think you should really be comparing them because that's like a second film, like maybe the Batman second film. I would like to see that conversation, but it's the Batman, bro. It does everything. It took a lot of what Batman Begins did, but just did it better, way better. So it's a more modern take, and it's a more truer take to Batman, in my opinion. So yeah, it's not even close. It's the Batman. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the show. And anybody that stopped by, especially Henry, Darian, even Paul George, the Clippers shooting guard, he stopped by. Yo, I didn't know you was a fan. Yo, shout out for real.
Tweet it out.
But
Shit, we want to do a favor.
yo, for real. But yeah, thank you everybody for stopping by and watching the show. This is the film wrap up from now on. The goal is to have it on here on YouTube and just getting it out there. We're trying to simultaneously get here in Twitch as well. So we're popping out everywhere, and also as well get it on the podcast streaming services. So if it's up and you're listening through the podcast, thank you. We appreciate it. And once again, thank you for watching. And the format is going to be a lot different from now. Should we tell them how we're going to do it going forward, or should we just?
No, we'll spring it on them when it comes time. Yeah.
I bet.
Keep it fresh and keep you looking forward to it.
For real, yo, Henry. No, thank you, man. Thank you. You stayed it's a 2-hour episode, and you stayed the 2 hours. Yo, much appreciated, man. Definitely. And we hope to see you next time as well, and we'll give you a heads up for sure. Unlike we just sprang it on you.
Yeah.
And you can find me simply at Film Fiends on all social media, especially my YouTube. I'm starting to get a little more love there. I'm surprised. I appreciate it. And Rapner gave me some pointers as well. Always love and respect that. Thank you, brother. And where can they find you?
Sure. You can find me, my name right there, the Rap Nerd J So. Type it in on all the platforms and I'll pop up. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok too. I'm on there with all the little kids. You know what I mean? The kids do that jump out there.
Kids.
That's the kid stuff, man. Like know, but as from a marketing standpoint, you got to do it. But
I'll be on there too. I might as well say that now.
Yeah, so just go there. You can find me. Yeah, I mean, so I got a YouTube channel as well. I really want that to go. There. Reviews, everything. Like I do my non-spoiler reviews there, and then I come chop it up with my bro Film Fiends here. So this is me this is the rule on this podcast right here. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. I couldn't say it better myself. And until next time, I am out. And thank you again for the love. Peace.